Hey guys, Put Your Socks On here. Today we're going to talk about the best way to go about trying to get your new weapon camos and soldier camos. So the first thing you're going to want to do is probably try and get the easiest weapon camo unlocked, because after you complete that assignment, your kills will start counting towards that soldier camo. So from what I found, the easiest one to probably get is the assault one, which is the F2000 woodland camo. Now, F2000 is a pretty decent gun. I never really used it before this assignment, but I found a pretty decent loadout that I like, and it'll probably work well for you guys. Well, on this gun I'll use the foregrip to help reduce the side-to-side sway. This gun, I think it's got a 0.5 left and a 0.4 right. I might be mistaken on that, but that's pretty high compared to some of the other guns, so I'll strap on the foregrip for that to hopefully push that down a little bit. I'll also run the heavy barrel and the holographic scope. Now, I'm used to running the G3A3 with the assault unit, so this is a really different gun. It's got pretty big spread, but it's got a really high rate of fire and a decent sized clip. But you can also pick off guys at long range, like you see I'm trying to do here. Burst fire at long range, up close, just lay down on the trigger and do full auto. Okay, so you gotta get 100 kills with F2000. That's not too bad. Next thing you gotta do is get 25 kills with the M26 MOS. Now, I found the best way to get this is I used the M26 Dart. Now, I know everyone hates the M26 Dart because of the pre-patch condition of it, but now that it's been patched up close, it's still pretty killer. I was able to get the 25 kills with the M26 Dart in one round. And once I was done with that, I went back to the medical kit because that's what I usually run with the assault. Last thing you need to do is get the 50 squad revives. Best way to go about doing this is if you've got your friends with you, make sure that you guys are all in the same squad so you got good communication, you guys can stick together and you can revive them as necessary. Otherwise, if you're by yourself, just try and join a full squad, spawn on them, and revive them when possible. Don't go in for the Rambo revives. Just, you know, peg away at the revives and you'll get them eventually. So, that's the best way I think to go about getting the assault assignment that will unlock your F2000 woodland camo. It's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know why they went for camos on the guns that already had camos instead of spreading it out a little bit, but the soldier camos look pretty cool, and once you unlock that first assignment, all your kills are going to start counting towards that soldier camo. So try to get the first one as quickly as possible. The other ones you can, chug away at. They're all not too bad. For me, the hardest one's probably going to be that 350 meter headshot with sniper rifle, the L96, because I'm not too used to using sniper rifle, but probably best bet for that is try and find another sniper. Hopefully he doesn't see you. You can get down on your bipod, and 350 meters on the 12x scope should probably be that first vertical line. So just make sure you calculate the drop and you should be okay. So I'm working towards my woodland camo assignment here on Metro. I thought it'd be pretty good because you have some close quarters action, so you can pull out that M26 if you don't have that part of the assignment unlocked yet. Also, your squad is going to be close together hopefully, and you should be able to get some good squad revives. I think it took me about 3 matches to get the 50 squad revives, and I think I started working on the F2000 kills the night before I recorded this, and I was able to unlock it this night. I don't think I unlocked it this round though. You can see this is a pretty high ticket round, so I'm not going to go through the entire gameplay on this one, but it was a good round. I think towards the end, we started to camp them a little bit, but overall it's pretty good. I think I got the squad revive on that one. Got a grenade coming in. Pretty good round. So let's see what else we can say about the F2000. Like I said, I'm not too used to using the F2000, so I had to really become familiar with it during this assignment, but I do kind of like it. It's not as good at long range as the G3A3 just because of the bullet damage, and the spread seems to be a lot larger. But the clip is decent size, it's got a really good rate of fire, so it's pretty good in close quarters. Your best bet in close quarters is if you have a laser scope to hip fire. And here we go, we got some wall hackers up in the ceiling. I think as we get towards Charlie, they've got some more wall hackers in the ceiling above Charlie. And I don't really see what the point of that is though, because they weren't really killing any of us. You know, it's like 2 or 3 guys on their team that are not helping now. But it does kind of mess you up because you see them on your mini-map and you think that they're going to be coming around the corner for you, trying to come up the side stairs or something like that, when in fact they're in the ceiling. You can see me, I see someone on the mini-map, so I'm trying to figure out where they are, and I realize it's the guys in the ceiling, but they had guys in the ceiling in a lot of places on this one. Personally, I don't really see the point of it. I don't even know how you get up there. I mean, I guess I could watch a YouTube video on how to do it, but I don't really care that much. I don't see what's so great about it, personally. So, we talked about the assignment. Let's see if we can talk about your strategy on Metro. Metro is probably a pretty... It's going to go one-sided, one way or the other. If you got 2 good teams, you might have some really good firefights at the choke points, but it's easy for one team or the other to be pushed back all the way to their spawn. Once that happens, I mean, it's pretty fun for the attacking team, but it's demoralizing for the team that's trying to capture the spawn closest to their deployment. If you're the Russians and you're trying to get into the station, make sure you check all 3 entrances. Rarely will a team evenly defend all the entrances. Most of the action I find, if you're the Russians, occurs not on this entrance. The right entrance, I find that you can usually slip through, sometimes undetected, maybe 50% of the time. I find most of the firefights occur on that left entrance or the main entrance. So if you guys are having trouble getting into the station, one of the things that you can try and do is spawn as a recon. Try and slip down that right entrance, go down the first or the closest to you escalators, and try and see if you can get all the way to Charlie. Plant a spawn beacon somewhere hidden decently well so that your squad mates can spawn on it, and then try and capture C. That should make the opposing team push back a little bit so that they don't lose Charlie, and hopefully give your team a little bit leeway to get into the station and maybe capture Bravo. Now for the Americans, it's a little bit harder, I think, if you're being camped at deployment, just because it's so linear at the point of where their deployment is. It's really hard to get out of the US deployment if the Russians have Charlie. For the Russians, it's a little bit easier if the Americans have Alpha, just because you have the wide open streets. You can flank far to the left and far to the right, but the Americans really don't have that option. Your best bet on the American side is, hopefully, if you're American, it's going to be your right, the far right, where you have those transformer rooms and some little tight quarter hallways. If you're lucky, you can get into one of those rooms. Hopefully the firefights are going around the base. You can get into one of those rooms and maybe slip out. Take the far escalator, which will be the escalator closest to Alpha. Try and get to Alpha. There's a lot of locations around Alpha where the Americans can plant a spawn beacon. That's going to be hard for the Russians to find. And again, maybe if you're the Americans, you can try and capture Alpha. That'll hopefully push the Russian team back from Charlie a little bit, and the rest of your team can get into Charlie and capture them. Other than that, if both teams are pretty evenly matched, you can have a good time having some firefights in the choke points. But just don't give up if you're the Americans or the Russians and you're pushed back to deployment. You'll find that if your team is pushed back to deployment, especially on the Russian side, a lot of your team will start spawning as snipers, trying to get the Americans who are in the buildings at Alpha, and the Americans will spawn as snipers, trying to pick off the Russians at their deployment. It pretty much turns into a sniper battle on both sides, which, I mean, could be good when you're trying to get L96 kills, I guess, but other than that, it's not too fun. So let's see what else we can talk about Metro. I'm running the assault unit, of course, because I'm working on my assault kills, but if I was not working towards an assignment, I'd probably be trying to play as supplying ammo to people. You can rack up a lot of supply points on this map, especially if the two teams are engaged in a firefight at one of the choke points, because your whole team is going to be around there and the supply points just rack up. Also, claymores can be really effective on this map. Place your claymores at the choke points. You can also place claymores at the doors to Alpha. There's lots of turns at Alpha. Door wells are the best place to plant your claymores, just because the enemy team's usually going to run right through there. See, the F2000 is pretty effective at firing close range. I sprayed it left or right a little bit there, but I still got the kill. It's also decently effective at medium to long range, I'd say. I usually burst fire the G3, but I was able to, after a while, effectively burst fire this. It's not as effective. So you can see another wall hacker there up in the ceiling at the Charlie checkpoint. Never actually seen that one before. That's a new one on this map, for me at least. But at this point, we take Charlie, so I think I go a little farther into the video, but I mean, there's really no point for me to show you guys our team camping their deployment, really. I mean, the Russians can have a really good time if they get pushed the Americans back, because you're forcing the Americans to come down those hallways and the kills can add up. So let's see what else we can say. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I know it's been a couple days since I came out with one. I've been pretty busy at work and stuff like that, but now I'm working on these assignments too, so I think I go in for the revive here, but it won't let me revive him because he's out of the combat area, so I go far back. I don't want to camp the deployment too hard, but I was really working on the F2000 kills here, and I think that giving them a chance was a little bit outweighed by my want to get these F2000 kills. Like I said, I usually run the holographic scope on most of my guns just because I think it's the most effective to see, use effectively. I do like the weapon camos. I mean, I've got the weapon camo we got for premium on the F2000 right now. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, there's really no benefit other than you get to see it when you reload. You're like, oh, I have weapon camo, that's cool. But yeah, I mean, Metro was always one of those fun maps before Close Quarters came out. If you go and play some Close Quarters and go back to Metro, it feels much slower paced than Close Quarters, but it's still fun to play once in a while. See, this is a hallway here. If I was on the US side, I would not be trying to push up this middle hallway here. It's really tough to push up this one. I mean, you see, we got all the Russians right here, and the Americans are going to have a hard time trying to get up there. Stick to the sides if you're getting pushed back to the deployment. I mean, you can, I've seen rounds where the team has turned it around because they were able to sneak a sniper recon unit past the campage and get to the enemy's closest spawn to their deployment. And if you can capture that, you know, the team becomes a little disoriented. Some people will stay at, say, Charlie and continue to try to camp the Americans, where the Americans now have Alpha and they'll start spawning behind, and then the Americans will get Bravo, and then half the American team will be pushing from their deployment, half the American team will be pushing from Bravo, and you can, you know, easily that way. Well, I mean, it's not easy, but you can. It is possible to turn the tide of the game around on Metro. It's hard, but it's possible. So I think I tried to run the suppressor on the F2000 for a little while in this match, and actually not this match, I think it was a match before this one, and I didn't find it that effective, especially on Metro. I mean, people are always going to see you just because the quarters are so tight that there's really no point to running a suppressor on it. So like I said, my loadout for the F2000 to get my 100 kills was the foregrip to reduce side-to-side sway, heavy barrel, and holographic sight. To get the M26 kills, I used the M26 dart because it was effective for me, very effective at close range. Most likely a one-hit kill if you're close enough. Definitely check it out. It's still pretty good after the patch. I mean, it's nothing like it used to be, but at close range, it is definitely a good weapon. So try and use it on a tight map like Metro. And your squad kills will just come with time. So I think I'm getting towards the end of this video. I believe that I see, now you see they've got good strategy here. They're trying to use the sides to flank us so that they can go capture Bravo or Alpha. I just saw Bravo blink, and I know that the guy is heading towards Alpha because I think I start to see Alpha blink. So at this point in the round, I leave Charlie. You're going to see me at the end of the video starting to run towards Alpha, and I go one-on-one for a guy for a while who was hiding pretty good Alpha and trying to cap it. See, Alpha's blinking. I'm going to start heading that way, so I stopped the recording that way. And hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing a video on the Scar H and my loadout for that, and trying to get the vehicle kills with the AT and the mine kills. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you later, and I'll see you on the battlefield.